Hey guys, Ryan here with Advanced Physical and Aquatic Therapy, and today I'd like to tackle the topic of our nutrition talk. So I know people might not think physical therapy, nutrition, but it is a huge part that comes into play with your healing, your building of strength, your cardiovascular health, your mental state, your sleep quality. I can go on and on. But if we're not helping with your nutrition, it's going to be hard to just with exercise alone get you to where you want to be or achieve your goals. And it's going to be so much easier to get you there if we hone in on what's the right thing to eat, what's the right behaviors to have, where do I go, but depending on my goals. So first off, I have this conversation a lot with patients in clinic. It depends on what your goals are. So if my goal is to build muscle and train for a lifting event, or my goal is to get a faster mile time to win a marathon, or my goal is to just decrease some of the body fat that allows me to have less pressure on my joints, all these goals are vastly different. But there are some rules of thumb that we could just start off with. If you want to make a change and you want to make improvements, let's not overthink it. Let's just focus on these topics. So first, I like to tell people, let's find out where you are so we know where to go from here. And all I mean by that is creating a journal for a week or two of what you're eating. Because if you're not brutally honest about what you're eating and document everything you're eating, when I ask people in here, what does a day worth of eating look like for you? And then I hear, all these great things. It's almost like they're telling me what I want to hear, and the results are clearly not there. So let's be honest with ourselves and let's document everything we're eating for 2 weeks. The easiest way to do that, the hardest way to do that is to write everything down, pen and paper, and look up what the calorie and the micronutrient or macronutrient values are for each one. Macronutrient just means protein, whether it falls under protein, carbohydrate, or fat. And you can see that on the back of a nutrition label, but the easiest way to do this is by downloading on your phone the MyFitnessPal app. Now, I have nothing to gain from telling you to go to MyFitnessPal app. I just know that in every circle, everybody I ask, everybody uses it. And it's really easy, it's free. All you have to do is plug in what you eat. You type it in and there's a ton of choices that are already populated. You can even barcode scan and it'll bring up the serving size and the all the nutrition facts right there and plug it right into your daily stuff. So we get an accurate picture of, okay, I'm eating this many calories a week and I am getting this much carbohydrates and I'm getting this much fats and I'm getting this much protein. And that tells us a ton about where to go from there. Next topic is just as a rule of thumb, we all need to be eating more fruits and veggies. Veggies first, then fruits. So I'd be hard-pressed to find anybody out there that says, yep, I'm eating enough veggies, I'm good. That is a rarity in this society. So all of us can stand to eat more veggies and fruits. Next is, I always tell people, let's do a challenge. During that 2 weeks that you calculated your calories and all that stuff, and you got a journal of what you're eating, let's take the next 2 weeks and just eliminate processed sugar. Don't even eat it. Try your best not to touch anything with processed sugar in it. So no soda, no juices with processed sugar, no candies obviously, because that's all that is processed sugar. Even some of the packaged snacks that you have, like a graham cracker or even some like chips and things like that, or Doritos, they have processed sugars in them, believe it or not, because processed sugar is in everything in a package. So look on the back of your nutrition label. If it says it has sugars, anything more than 0, you don't eat it. Next is look at your carb and fat intake and replace it with protein. So as a society, as an American culture, we definitely eat a lot more carbs and fat than we do lean protein and veggies and fruits. Now, hey Rye, veggies and fruits have carbs. Yes, they do have carbs, but they have very little carbs, and you can eat the heck out of them because they have tons of fiber. They're going to make you feel full. So don't even worry about that. The carbs I'm talking about are breads, packaged goods, Tostitos, chips, insert anything here that we all eat that comes out of a box. And that is your carbs that we could definitely stand to decrease our intake of. So let's look at how many of those you're eating, and let's try to eliminate some of them, because you still need healthy carbs and healthy fats, and we can get down that road when we get to it. But right now, as a rule of thumb, we all could benefit from decreasing some of the carbs and fats and increasing some of the protein. Next is processed foods. I know I just touched on them a couple times. Just going to do touch on it again. Processed foods are not great. So I know it's our American way. It's the capitalistic marketing, phenomenon that happened, started in the 50s, I guess, took even more power in the 80s, that these foods are good for you. And that industry is just ethically and morally wrong on many different fronts. And we need to get away from that. So we're going to and I'm sure you heard this, going to the periphery of the supermarket, if you can get to the supermarket right now. The periphery of the supermarket has fruits, vegetables, lean meats. You can add dairy in there if you're dairy inclined. But even the frozen section is on the peripheral. But most of the stuff in the middle of that supermarket is all in boxes and is really, you don't even need to ever eat it. Next, if you're eating fast food, just stop it. Because fast food, there's no argument you're going to make to tell me that any fast food is good for you. Now, I get it, once in a blue moon, if you really, really like it, you can indulge. But for the most part, McDonald's, I'm gonna name names. McDonald's, Wendy's, what other fast food ones that I see that Taco Bell, KFC. You don't ever need to go to those places. I get it's cheap, but in the long run, it's killing you. So what's worth it for you? Is it more valuable to have a cheap, fast meal, or more valuable for you to be able to do the things you want to do as you get older and not die young, or have cardiovascular disease or diabetes or atherosclerosis, whatever, you name it. Fast food's going to get you there. So just stop going to fast food places. Now, if we tackle these subjects right here, I think we're going to be winning, and we're going to get you to the goals you need to get to in physical therapy and in life. We're going to get you doing the things you love to do without these limitations. But we have to kind of take it step by step. So these few little steps here in the beginning of nutrition we're going to be winning. And if you want to refine that further, then it becomes a little bit more of a tweaking small little things, and we can step in and help with those things as well. And there's other professionals that can too. So I hope that's helpful. We definitely have a lot of people asking about those things. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section, or you can give us a call, and we can set you up with, we have a nutritionist that does work with us, and we want people to get better in this aspect. So I hope that helps, guys. Take care.